The vanishing that shouldn't be possible. Some disappearances announce themselves. Brian Shaffer's didn't. It began on an ordinary spring night in 2006, as students celebrated the start of spring break in Columbus, Ohio. Among them was 27-year-old medical student Brian Shaffer. Kind, calm, brilliant, recently grieving the loss of his mother and planning a vacation with his girlfriend. He walked into a bar, laughed with friends, smiled for cameras, and was never seen leaving. That simple fact is the mystery. Brian was captured entering the bar on CCTV, but never captured leaving it. No footage. No sighting. No explanation. A disappearance that shouldn't be possible, yet it happened. The last known moments. Brian's night began normally. Drinks with friends. A crowded bar. Plans for the rest of the evening. He texted his girlfriend good night. He was seen chatting with two women inside, appearing calm and relaxed. But something was off beneath the surface. Friends later recalled moments where Brian seemed distant, as if thinking about something he hadn't shared. More subtle signs appeared. A hesitation here, a blank stare there, small details that would only matter in hindsight. His friend stepped outside for fresh air. Brian told the women he'd see them around. And then he walked deeper into the bar, toward the dim interior. Those were the last confirmed moments Brian Shaffer was ever seen alive. The search begins. When Brian didn't show for a planned trip with his girlfriend, everyone panicked. Police were alerted instantly. Officers searched his apartment, his routes, his classrooms. Nothing. The ugly tuna bar became the investigation center. Every corner was inspected. Every angle reviewed. Every employee questioned. Air ducts, stairwells, bathrooms, all searched. And the surveillance system? It showed dozens of people leaving the bar that night.
The data is
Except
conclusive.
Brian.
He is simply
He
not
entered
present
on
in any
camera.
exit footage.
He never left on camera. Not once. Police were forced to consider something impossible. Was Brian still inside the building? The cameras that lied by omission. The entire building Brian visited was equipped with cameras. The escalator, the hallway, the exits, all covered. Investigators pored over the footage frame by frame. Everyone who entered was seen leaving. Everyone, except Brian. Theories emerged. Did he change clothing? Was he disguised? Did he slip out behind someone? But no matter how hard investigators looked, no version of him ever appeared. The footage didn't just fail to reveal, it refused to. There was no camera malfunction. No missing footage. Everything worked perfectly. And yet Brian's exit does not exist on film. The night that refused to explain itself. Friends insisted Brian wasn't suicidal. Family insisted he wasn't running away. Investigators insisted there was no crime scene. It was as if the night had swallowed him whole. One detective described it as a disappearance with intention. Not that Brian intended to vanish, but that the event had been shaped by something or someone in the shadows. Rumors formed. He could be hiding. He could be dead. He could have left through a blind spot. But the truth was simpler and darker. There were no blind spots large enough. Brian should have been seen. He was not. Phone pings in the FBI. 2 days after he vanished, Brian's girlfriend called him. For the first time, his phone didn't go to voicemail. Brian. AT&T's records confirmed his phone pinged a tower 14 miles away. Was it a glitch? A ghost ring? Phone turning on? Experts couldn't explain it. Some said it was a technical anomaly. Others whispered it could have been human activity. The FBI reconstructed the entire environment of the bar. They used crowd simulations, body movement models, and timeline reconstructions. Their conclusion echoed the same chilling impossibility. Brian Shaffer walked into a bar and did not leave it. No one has been able to explain how. The silence around one person, one of Brian's closest friends, the last person to see him inside the bar, refused further interviews, refused polygraphs, refused involvement. Not because he was guilty, but because he chose never to clarify his final moments with Brian. Investigators never publicly named him as a suspect, but they never removed him from consideration either. He holds pieces of the story, pieces he has never shared, pieces that might mean nothing, or everything. In Disappearances, silence is always suspicious. But silence is also protection. Protection from blame, or from truth. The three remaining possibilities. After 18 years, only 3 explanations remain. 1. Brian died inside the building. A fall. A medical emergency. A tragic accident. A space sealed during construction before anyone realized. 2. Brian met someone outside in the only hidden area within seconds of leaving the frame. Someone capable of acting quickly and quietly. 3. Brian told someone something that night, something deeply personal, that has remained unspoken. A fear. A decision. A direction. A confession. A goodbye. Each theory fits part of the puzzle. None fit all of it. The last suspect standing, the friend who refused all cooperation, remains the quiet shadow of the case. Investigators continue to watch him not because he committed a crime, but because he holds knowledge no one else has. His silence is not evidence, but it is weight. Weight that pushes the timeline, pushes the theories, pushes investigators to ask, why refuse everything? What detail was too uncomfortable to share? What moment was too complicated to explain? The story of Brian Shaffer cannot be told without the silence that surrounds this man. The vanishing point. In the end, the case rests on a single truth. Brian Shaffer entered a bar and never came out. Not because he vanished. Not because he hid. Not because he ran away. But because something, accident, event, or human decision, interrupted his path. Something happened in a moment so brief, so silent, so perfectly timed that no camera captured it. Whether hidden behind walls, lost in construction, taken by a stranger, or concealed by someone's fear, Brian's final moment happened in a place no one has found.
Until someone speaks.
And until someone speaks.
Until a wall opens.
Until a wall
until
is
a detail
opened.
Finally emerges.
Until a single detail surfaces. This case remains what it has always been. An unfinished story. Waiting for the truth to return.